welcome back to our channel. So today we're going to be talking all about skin, specifically my skincare journey. I don't think I've ever done a sit-down video talking about my skincare journey from the time I started developing hormonal acne all the way to now. So today I want to come on camera makeup free. I don't have on any makeup. So this is on the beauty channel, and I usually come on here with, you know, a full face or at least a half face of makeup on, but I felt like that wasn't appropriate for this video, so I wanted to come on here fresh face for you guys. So I'm literally just wearing lip liner and lip gloss. Nothing else is on my face. So this is my skin now. It's still doing really good. It's pretty clear for the most part. I do have this random mosquito bite on my cheek. I have never gotten a mosquito bite on my cheek. I always get them like on my legs, so that's weird. But other than that, my skin is doing pretty good. I just wanted to do this video just in case it will help someone who has hormonal acne, or you're experiencing acne and you don't know where it's coming from, because when I first started breaking out like crazy, it was right when I got off of birth control. So I had never experienced acne as a teenager really. I would get breakouts here and there during that time of the month, but I never had acne as a teenager. And I always took pretty good care of my skin because Kendra and I have always been into like beauty, so we're always in the drugstore reading like cleansers and moisturizers and stuff. So I always had a skincare routine, whether it was wrong or right. Back then, like as a teenager, I just basically used to just wash my face and put on moisturizer. But I started developing these insane breakouts around 25, I think, and that's around the time that I got off of birth control. I had been on birth control for years for my cramps because I had severely bad menstrual cramps since I first got my period basically. And I was very young when I got my period, like 10. Yeah, I was 10 years old. And Kendra and I had just always had like severely bad menstrual cramps. So I used to envy my friends who used to be like, oh yeah, I don't cramp when my period comes on. I used to envy my friends. They're a lot better now that I'm older, but I'm not gonna lie, that day one and some of day two, girl, it's still a little bit much, but it's a lot better than it used to be, thank God. But that's the reason I went on birth control. So when I went off of birth control, my skin just completely freaked out. And I think it's honestly because I had been on it for so many years. Yeah, I had been on it from, I think, the time I was 14 all the way to 25 years old. So that's a long time to be on birth control. So when I got off, my skin just freaked out. I was like, what is going on? I have never experienced this many breakouts. I had become extremely depressed, extremely insecure. It was another level of depression because I had gone through depression like years before for other personal reasons. I had been on antidepressants before and all that. I don't want to get too personal because y'all know I don't like telling my business like that. But I would read tons of articles on ingredients, trying to figure out what will work for me. And that's when I discovered retinols, and I was discovering the different kinds of retinoids and retinols and stuff like that. But I would personally say don't try to do this on your own. Go to a dermatologist first. And I personally regret not going to a dermatologist earlier because I was trying to figure it out myself. But it's just like, Kelsey, you are not a dermatologist nor an esthetician. I am a cosmetologist. I went to school for hair, not skin. I know about hair. I didn't know that much about skin until now because I have done so many years of research about ingredients and what my skin needed. I'm sure I already put like pictures up of my skin before and like how it looked, and I knew it was hormonal acne because it was mostly in this area. So if your acne is mostly on your chin, in your jawline, that is known as hormonal acne. But the first thing that I did do that I just wanted to like completely rule out was completely change the way I was eating. So I stopped eating like a lot of processed foods. I'm not gonna lie, I still had some here and there, but I made sure I like doubled down on my eating. So I started eating clean about 80% of the time just to rule that out, because I know your food intake can have a big part on your skin and affect how your skin looks, the tone, the texture, and when you're breaking out. So I started eating clean first, and then the second thing that I discovered that was a game changer for me, and it was something that was so simple that I was not doing before, and this was I think in 2015 or 2014, one of those. But I started double cleansing. And I started double cleansing, and I just was so shocked at how less I was breaking out, because you don't realize how much you're leaving behind when you don't double cleanse your skin. This is even if you do not wear makeup, you still need to double cleanse, because you don't realize how much dirt and pollution is on your skin when you go out. If you have a lot of sunscreen on, well, you should have a lot of sunscreen on, but you want to get all of that off before you do your nighttime skincare. I started double cleansing at night. When I cleanse in the morning, I only cleanse once. You don't need to double cleanse in the morning. So I only double cleanse at night. So you can double cleanse with a gel cleanser and just wash your face twice with that if you don't like an oil or balm cleanser. But if you are gonna double cleanse with the gel cleanser, I recommend the first cleanse you go in on dry skin. So don't add water to it yet. You wanna go on dry skin and then like emulsify it all over your face, then add the water, wash your face, and then wash it again a second time with your gel cleanser. Because everybody knows a double cleanse, the first cleanse is without water, because that's how you get all the excess oil and dirt off of your skin. Yeah, you want to add the water after, and then the second cleanse is obviously it's already water on your face and you do your second cleanse. But I personally like a oil or balm cleanse to do my double cleanse, so especially when I'm wearing makeup. So to me, the best oil cleanser that I have ever used is the Shiseido Perfect Cleansing Oil. I have raved about that stuff for years. It's great for all skin types, but I personally feel like it's better for like oily combination skin. And I know that sounds crazy, but this cleansing oil is not playing. Like, it's gonna get everything off of your face before you even go into your second cleanse. So I love that cleansing oil. It's my favorite one. I've tried many of them. Some of them make my skin still feel kind of oily even after I've rinsed it off, and I hate that feeling. So if you're worried about that feeling as well, then this cleansing oil is going to be perfect for you. And as far as cleansing balms, I've used a lot of different ones, but my favorite is from Elemis. Elemis to me has the best cleansing balms, mainly just because of the texture. Double cleansing can be a complete game changer for you. Like, I'm telling you, you don't realize how much you're leaving behind, causing unnecessary breakouts, even though all breakouts are unnecessary. But just washing your face a second time can make the biggest difference. I'm referring to my notes if you guys see me looking down. So yeah, that was like the first step to get the breakouts to kind of like start going away, and that's something that I still incorporate into my everyday skincare routine. So the second thing that I discovered in my skincare journey was these Dr. Dennis Gross pads. Sorry y'all, I'm readjusting, I'm trying to get comfortable. These things is when I first saw my skin start to transform. Now my skin wasn't 100% just yet, but that's when my skin started to transform. And I use the extra strength daily peel pads, so I started with those. Like, I didn't even start with the gentle ones. I recommend starting with the gentle ones if your skin is sensitive, but I was just so tired of dealing with breakouts that I went ahead and used the one with the red on the packaging, because I had used Actives before, so my skin wasn't gonna be too shocked when I started using them. So if you've never used any kind of actives on your skin, meaning like salicylic acid, glycolic acid, mandelic acid, benzoyl peroxide, if you've never used any of those kind of ingredients, then I recommend starting with the gentle one first. Like I think it has blue on the packaging. Start with that one first, and then like after like a month, you can work your way up to the red ones, the ones with the red on the packaging. The extra strength daily peel pads. This is basically like a two-step pad. So the first one you want to use after you wash your face, all over your face, and it basically is the exfoliator, and it has the actives in it. So it's for exfoliating and smoothing. So this is going to help with tone and texture. And then the second one is like the anti-aging neutralizer. So this basically just says it's to balance and clear your skin, to reveal bright, smooth skin and radiance. So these are really good if you have oily skin as well. So this is when I first started to see my skin transform, and I was like, okay, we're getting somewhere. And then that's when I started like going to get more facials, and I'm seeing an esthetician, and I will get facials like at least every 2 months. If you can't afford that, I highly recommend getting a really good like deep clean facial. I would say like at least twice a year. It's very helpful. Find a good esthetician in your area, do your research, read your reviews. I'm telling you, they make the biggest difference. So don't just go into anywhere blind. You want to do your research first. So I was using the Dr. Dennis Gross pads for about a year or two. I think it was 2 years I was using those. And then after that, I noticed my skin was still not where I wanted it to be. I was like, okay, I'm still breaking out way too much. I need something a little bit stronger. Also, in between my whole journey, so right before I went to the dermatologist, I did get my first chemical peel. Chemical peels, y'all, also a game changer. I would highly recommend getting a chemical peel, and this is gonna be the perfect time to get one because we're going into the colder months. You're gonna be inside more. It's about to get dark earlier. A chemical peel is gonna be a game changer for you if you want to see a huge improvement in your skin and a boost in like clarity. So I got my first chemical peel like right before I got on prescription retinol, and I also feel like that really helped with the purging process as well. I feel like it gets to that second layer and gets all the bad things out, and it just basically clarifies. So I'm not gonna lie, it's a little traumatizing at first. You're like, why is my face falling off. Like the first few days, I'm not gonna lie, I was like, it was kind of itchy. It starts to peel around your mouth, and then I think my forehead was last, but it reveals just the most beautiful like baby skin, and you're glowing. So a chemical, you can do a light one, you don't even have to do like an intense one. But getting a chemical peel is going to be a game changer. You don't want to yet go to a dermatologist. So if you want to get a chemical peel first and see how your skin does with that, I highly recommend it. I did both just because my job is on camera, so I was like, no, we're just nipping this in the bud. So after my chemical peel, that's when like maybe like a month or two later, I went to the dermatologist, and that's when I got on prescription retinoid. Because my esthetician was telling me about retinol. She was like, do you have retinol in your skincare routine? I was like, no, I don't have one, but I've been scared to use it because I didn't want my skin to like start purging and like freaking out with more breakouts. Because some people, when they start using a retinol, their skin purges. But that's not usually the case with an over-the-counter retinol, meaning one that you can buy yourself without a prescription. So the first one that I tried was the Obagi Retinol Cream, the 1.0, and that one was really good to start with because it was very gentle and it didn't dry my skin out too much, because I'm not gonna lie, retinol is a very drying ingredient. So if you already have dry skin, then you want to incorporate a really nice thick moisturizer into your routine, because you're gonna need it, because retinol is pretty drying. I think for all skin types, me personally, but especially if you have dry skin. So this Obagi one was really good because it's a cream formulation, so it didn't dry my skin out too bad. And I got mine off of Dermstore. That's when I discovered Dermstore, and I became obsessed with Dermstore. I would just read reviews all day on different products, and I was just obsessed because I was literally trying to get my skin to a point where I could actually not want to put on makeup before I go out, because that is like where I draw the line. I'm not a girl who likes to wear makeup just to go through the grocery store or go work out. I just like a fresh face. If I am not going out or like want to be glammed up, I just like to let my skin breathe. I know some people say that's not a thing, but if you have on makeup for hours, you know the difference between feeling like your skin is feeling suffocated and feeling like your skin can breathe. And I love makeup, but after I've had it on for like 6 to 8 hours, that 8-hour mark, I'm like, okay, I need this off of my face. So Obagi is one of the brands that I discovered on Dermstore, and I found that they had really, really good products that you can find for your skin type, or depending on whatever skin issues that you're having. So Obagi is a really, really good brand to start with if you don't want to use the Dr. Dennis Gross peel pads. And if you want to start using retinol before like using a prescription one, then this one is one of my favorites. I used it for about a year. No, not even a year. I think I used it for like 8 or 9 months. Yeah, I used it for like 8 or 9 months. After I discovered this retinol, that's when I discovered the Obagi Pore, I have it here, salicylic acid pore therapy toner. And this actually is a whole line. It comes with a cleanser, a toner, and a benzoyl peroxide lotion. And I actually tried all 3 of them, and that was a no for me. My skin was so dry. I was like, it's not gonna work for me. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna pick one of these products. I was like, so cleanser, I have a cleanser that I like, I don't have to use that. And then I decided not to opt for the benzoyl peroxide because I was still using the Obagi cream retinol that I was just talking about. So I was like, I'll just try the toner. And y'all, this toner made the biggest difference in my pores. Like my pores shrunk in size, my skin was extra tight. Like it just took my skin to a whole nother level. I would rotate this between my retinol. So one day I would do retinol and the next day I would do this toner. So maybe like Tuesdays and Thursdays and Saturdays I would use this toner, and then the other days I would use the cream retinol. And sometimes I still do that. I like to rotate my retinol on the days that I'm not using like a chemical exfoliator, just because my skin likes both of them. And I noticed that chemical exfoliators help a lot with like texture and smoothing. Even though retinol is a hero product and it helps with all of those things, I just feel like chemical exfoliators help to take it to another level. They kind of work together as a team. You can think about it in that way. So when I discovered this, I was like, okay, I'm really loving how my skin is looking. So that's when my skin, I felt like, was starting to look back to normal. And it was like 75% clear, but I was like, okay, I need my skin 100% clear. I'm on camera for a living. So that's when I went to a dermatologist, and they prescribed me adapalene gel first. And they prescribed me the Taro adapalene gel, and it was the 0.3%. And I used that for about a year, and my skin looked fantastic. It looked amazing. and I was just very happy with the results. And then after like 9 months, maybe 10 months, it wasn't even a full year yet, I started getting breakouts again. They started coming back, and I was like, just when I thought I figured this out, it's not figured out. So after that, I went to a different dermatologist because I wanted a black dermatologist. And then I found my dermatologist. Her name is Dr. Bellamy. I love her. I will leave her information in the description box if you guys are in the Georgia area and you want to see a dermatologist. That's when she prescribed me a Roslo, and that is the retinoid that I'm currently on, and it's more of a lotion base because the adapalene gel is a gel, so it's gel based, but the Roslo that I'm on now is more of like a lotiony texture, and it goes on beautifully, it goes on smoothly. I've been using this for the past 2.5 years, I think, and I've been loving it. So skincare is like a journey, and you just have to figure out what works for you, figure out what doesn't work for you, see what your skin likes, see what your skin doesn't like, and make sure you figure out your skin type, because that, I noticed, that can make a big difference as well. Because if you're using products that do not align with your skin type, you can be wasting your money and your time. So if you have oily skin, using products that have a lot of heavy oils in them are not going to benefit you. It might just make your skin issues worse. And if you have dry skin and you're using products that further dry your skin out more, that can also cause more issues. So just make sure you're trying out products that are aligned with your skin type, because a lot of the times when you're shopping for skincare products, they'll have like what skin types these products are made for. Hey guys, just popping in here for a quick voiceover. I have no idea why I skipped over this part of my notes, but I opted out of getting on Accutane because I felt like it had way too many side effects for me, and I didn't want to deal with any of the possible side effects, which is why I did not do Accutane. And I felt like my acne was getting better and wasn't severe enough for Accutane. And by the way, when I started the adapalene gel, I was scared of purging because I had heard horror stories of like people purging when they got on a retinol, and I did not purge whatsoever. Honestly, my acne just started to 100% go away. I just stopped getting breakouts 100%. And I honestly think it's because I started using an over-the-counter retinol before I got on a prescription retinol. Y'all remember the Obagi retinol I was just talking about? That, I was using that before. And I feel like that made the biggest difference before I even started using a prescription retinol. And I honestly feel like they helped me not to purge, because I feel like my skin had done all the purging like before, because I had been breaking out so much. So by the time I got to the dermatologist, my skin had already kind of cleared up about like 70%. So it wasn't that much work left for the retinoid to do. It just basically sealed everything up in a nice little clear skin bow, you know? So I definitely recommend trying out over-the-counter retinoid / retinol before going to the dermatologist if you are afraid of purging. But if you don't really care about the purging process and you just want to go ahead and nip the acne in a bud, then just go ahead and go to a dermatologist and get prescribed a retinol or retinoid that is for your skin. And 2 other really good retinoids that I recommend over the counter that you can try if you want to try one yourself first, that you can get at the drugstore, is the Different Gel Adapalene Gel 0.1%, and that is very similar to the adapalene gel that I first got on the first year of me being on prescription retinoid. So it's basically like the drugstore version of that. The only difference is the percentage, which is why one is prescription and one is over the counter. So like I said, the one I was on was 0.3% from the Taro brand, and then the adapalene gel from Different is 0.1%. So yeah, so it's gonna work a little bit slower, but it's gonna help you not to really purge before getting the prescription retinoid. And then the other one that I still love to this day when I kind of want to give my skin a break from my prescription retinoid is the La Roche-Posay B3 serum. This is their retinol serum. So I would highly recommend the La Roche-Posay one. I feel like it's one of the best over-the-counter retinol serums you can find. It's one of my favorites. I'm not gonna lie, La Roche-Posay is not the cheapest at the drugstore, but it is worth it. By the way, I'm gonna have a product list of all these products in the description box if you want to try any of them, depending on your skin type and what I just told you. Also, fragrance-free products are gonna be your best friend. Like if you're trying to recover from acne, or your skin is just super dull and it's not like even enough for you, fragrance-free is going to be your best friend. Fragrance can also be a big part of why you're still breaking out, because it's an irritant. Some brands tend to use a lot of fragrance, and I have no idea why. I think it's so unnecessary. I'm like, I can just spray on perfume if I want to smell something good. I don't need it. I don't need perfume on my face. I would say if you have any products in your routine with fragrance in them, take them out and I promise you will see the biggest difference. Avène has a lot of fragrance-free like serums. Like if you have any serums in your routine with fragrance in them, take that out. Like if it's like a light fragrance, that's fine, but if it's highly fragrant, then you're not gonna see any improvement in your skin. So fragrance-free is where it's at, especially if you have sensitive reactive skin. Fragrance-free products are going to be your best friend. If you're looking for a really good fragrance-free moisturizer that is no fuss, straight to the point, great texture, I would highly recommend the Avène Silcifate cream. I've been using that for years and it was my best friend like after getting treatments. But do keep in mind, when you do, or if you do get on prescription retinoid, you need to be applying an extra layer of sunscreen, because I'm telling you, I was not ready the first time I got a sunburn on my face. Like I still feel like to this day my forehead has not recovered from that sunburn. I was on vacation in Bahamas and my forehead looked like a leather chair 2 days after I got home. So don't be playing around with using the retinol and not wearing your sunscreen. So you do have a big responsibility of wearing a lot of sunscreen if you are going to get on prescription retinoid. You need to be wearing sunscreen anyway, but especially if you're using any kind of retinol or retinoid over the counter or prescription, especially prescription, because it's just an intensified formula that's going on your skin. So you need to be protecting your skin. Is that it? Let me check my notes. Just want to make sure I'm telling you guys everything, because I've never done this before, because I've still been learning so much about skincare, but I feel like at this point in my life I know everything I need to know about skincare. Yeah, that's basically it. I do still sometimes try new skincare products, but for the most part I just like to keep it simple and stick to products I know work for my skin. Every now and then I might be interested in something new, but other than that I just keep it simple. Let me know if you guys want an updated AM and PM skincare routine. I can definitely do that for you guys. But like I said, all the products that I mentioned in today's video will be in the description box, aside from obviously the prescription ones. I can't put those down there. You have to get those through a dermatologist. And if you see any online that you can buy yourself, do not buy that. It probably got crap in it. Everything else I will link down below for you guys. So yeah, I hope this video was helpful to you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one.